of all, I want to discuss something about, okay, let's just say, some kind of projected or estimated cost of coming to study in Malta, right? Um, Maybe with time, I would probably do more, more of something like this based on how the rate goes in terms of probably the change or the increase or decrease in the tuition fees of some schools, and perhaps the exchange rate depending on the country, while I'll be using Nigeria as a case study. But for now, I might still also be showing you, a clip by the side of videos confirming the proof of it. But before I go right into all that, let me quickly say welcome to my channel. People, welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by again. If you've been my fan right from day one, I really want to appreciate all those that have been supporting me at least one way or the other. And I um have a lovely friend. She's also more of a friend and more like a family friend, and who has been my fan since day one. The beauty about it is that anytime I get to do a video, she at least among those that would be the first to watch. And really, she watch the video, she would send a comment or kind of send message to me, trying to get more clarification on whatever I say in that video. So that been like making me understand. She's been following me up back to back, and I really want to say thank you. I don't have to mention name. And for those of you too that have been there for me in one way or the other in terms of watching the videos, your support, and this subscription is part of it. You are giving me that encouragement to grow, to believe in what I am doing. I say big thank you. And if you're seeing my face for the very first time, I want to say welcome to my channel properly. My name is Joseph, and this is J.O.S. Travel. I am just trying to, create a content regarding how to migrate to travel abroad, particularly using study route, which is the route I believe is safest, one of the best, and the easiest. Study route would have been like the best there. Or majorly everybody know going to a country to work route will be the number one, or particularly like in Canada case where you can enter from any country in the world directly as a permanent resident. But the problem is the permanent residency pathway to Canada and the study route and the working route to other countries are not that easy to get. They are not something you can just get. They are something that really entails you to work um, or wait patiently to get it. It's either how lucky you are in terms of being invited in the applications of the pool. If you want me to talk more about permanent residence, the processes, how to go about it, how to increase your chances, just uh, drop those words in the comment section. Then from what I get, I will know, okay, you guys are particularly interested in me discussing the permanent pathway to Canada. That by the side, the work route is that it's really exposed you to being scammed. That is where when people complain that someone defrauded or scam them online, it is mostly coming from the work route because a lot of us don't want to hear anything about school. A lot of us don't want to hear out. So school things just like processes because it actually requires a lot of patience. And so people just want something they will just get into the country and start earning money immediately. So people are interested when you just talk about work route. Like mostly you see online now, everywhere flooded with free visa to Canada, Malta, free visa to Ireland, free visas where Ireland is giving working visas, all those stuff. So these are the things that are kind of moving people more. But I will tell you, there are reasons why they are not that easy to come by when you want to get them from outside the countries. There are policies that protect the citizens of those countries. I think I mentioned that in a couple of my videos. And the policies will require the embassies, the companies or the agency to defend the reason of bringing you in from outside. If they cannot get somebody in the system already in the countries, or particularly students that are just graduating, or even the students that want these common jobs. You get by the way, Jerry. Let's leave that aside. When the time comes, if you want us to just to talk about more things on the work route, fine, I will be ready to share that. And but now, if going by the titles of my video, this particular video, you will know that I'm trying to talk about. I want to give you some kind of hints. I want to give you the clue, like the picture of what to expect if you want to come to Malta through study route. And of course, this is what I market most, and this is my major focus area of specialty, study route actually. Now, currently, based on every time development and all that, it's why it's gradually becoming harder and harder. Before I chip in that, or before I go to that aspect, let me quickly use this opportunity to say this to most of you that are already following me, and for those of you that are planning to join me, my community soon. And yeah, though while I was starting up, the figures is when the figure was that kind of low, I said, I think that I've been honest in everything I do. I said it in my first, second, or third videos or thereabout that from the first 200, 1 to 200 subscriber, I'll be willing to listen to you. If you reach out to me, you want any personal information, counseling, guidance, one-on-one talk, that I'll be willing to do all these things, you know, without asking you for anything or thereabout. And even if I've mentioned that I'm partnering with an agency, reputable agency, and then I also kind of have been working in that capacity. I'm not saying I'm an immigration consultant. Disclaimer: that is not what I mean. There is a legal, you know, qualifications or requirement for you to start claiming openly that you are an immigration consultant, right? But you can be a traveling consultant, or like educational consultant, and you can also be more like a guidance, or like just a normal agent. You can be agent to something. So it requires the experience over time and the registrations or the relationship with a registered agency. So what I'm saying is, I'm trying to tell you that if I want to say yes, agency, fine, yeah. But immigration consultants, which has to be backed up by having the understanding of um, this what is it called, the laws, immigration legal laws of a particular country. So you're able to defend yourself in case of anything comes up, or in the process anything like this, something that probably arising between that might lead to dispute. So you would have your uh, defense towards that, but that is not who I am. And now, I said for the first 200, I'll be ready to listen to you, share my contact, talk to you, give you anything you want. But immediately after 200, if there is anything else you want me to do, you want to reach out to me one on one, I might start introducing fee. And I still did not do it up to, I think they get to more than 500, 600. By special grace of God, I am getting somewhere, growing. At least we are approaching 900 subscribers. But please do well to subscribe free of charge. So at least we'll get 1,000 subscribers. Then we'll be like motivated that, hope don't they, you get. But we're getting there. 800, 700 plus, almost approaching 800. It's still a sign that, well, some people like me, Abby. Okay. Now, from 500, 600, it's just that almost everybody that will come online, see my video, regardless of how you might rate it, will be like, can I get your email? Can I get it? I will give them my email. Then after asking me one or two questions, I reply to the email. Some will say, can I get your personal contact? Can I get your personal contact? So I will I still give out contact. They will just give me talk. And so I say, no worry, no problem. I'll get back to you. No worry, no problem. Yeah. So it's really been interfering with some of my personal, schedule, school, and the personal hustle and all those stuff. So just to limit it, kind of, or like when some people just make me talk. It's not like anything productive will come out. And in the end, that talk, I won't get to hear from them again. So just to limit it, I now start trying to make it look more of reducing or screening those that are really willing to get this information, vital information from me than those who are just, exploring all what is on the internet, trying it out. This is why I begin to like, if you ask for my email, I will give it to you. And if you ask me questions, I would reply based on the question from the email. Then immediately you want to go beyond that, asking me for my personal contact, I would introduce something small, a token for more of consultants to say, okay, for me to give you my name, if I introduce that, a lot of them will back out. They will not come at you. For you to go to the extent of saying, okay, give it now. And funny enough, it's not like it's a big deal. Like, you will be surprised coming from Nigeria, where I'm coming from. What I asked them to, what I will ask you to drop, it's not something that it does something that I would even call. You'll be surprised the figure. I don't know if someone will be mentioning money, and you'll be surprised the figure. It's just something that I just want to see that if somebody can go as committing from 10, 20, 30, K to something, it shows how serious that person is, how the person really wants it. And this is why I said, please do not find it as any kind of offense. Like this guy hasn't even gotten somewhere else. No, do not find it whatever the way you want to say it, but just know that this is my own new style of trying to reduce how people just say, give me your number, as of nothing take. It's my screening process. So please take note of that. I'm sorry for those kind of explaining that to you how the way I do. I would, if you want to ask me to talk to me one on one, I will still serve that purpose as someone you want to talk to for one on one consultation. I will just introduce that little token. It's not a big deal. It is not a token. It is you to go to that extent shows you are really kind of ready, serious for me to do anything or answer whatever question they have. That's it. So please take note of that in case that's by the wayside. And I think I was talking about how visa processing thing in Malta is gradually becoming less stiff, tough by the day. They started from in my own time. Before I even get here, we talked about that in one of the videos, one or more, how they were actually collecting 50% for undergraduate, almost this thing. Then later, the policy was adjusted to undergraduate paying full 1 year school fees, and postgraduate or masters pay 75%. Later on, it becomes undergraduates remain pay full 1 year school fees, masters or postgraduate pay the whole money. So if your tuition is 8,000, 9,000, or 10,000, postgraduate or master, you have to pay the whole. Otherwise, your visa chances become slimmer. You stand the chance of being refused. The rate will become very high. That being because of a lot of things that is going on. People abusing the fact that basically maybe some are not really coming genuinely to school. They just want to use money to get in because of the benefit across Europe. Some feel that there were also the system that were later considered abused. People can easily convert over after 2, 3 months or your first semesters in the school that brought you in. You can just convert to a full-time worker, then be under the sponsor of the company, and then probably if you choose to start going to the school part-time and stuff. So I think it was done too much indirectly. That has not been the case now. It's not been that kind of easy. Also, then the clamoring and all those stuff also came up. All right, the issues of the reason why it's becoming difficult. Okay, Maltese are not really happy with the high numbers of the foreigners. They are kind of, it seems they are not kind of happy now. They've been saying they don't want more foreigners, and some are saying positively it's for the good of the foreigners. They are saying, or those that are there already, they should be treated equally with the Maltese in terms of um, what they pay them, in terms of the rate, because there are rates you can give to a Maltese or permanent resident. And it will be the same level of job and the same place, but the foreigners are getting, the least lower rate, and that is making more company trying to focus on foreigner instead because it will reduce, their overhead costs like production costs. So, because it's easy for a foreigner to just say, give me I will take it 4.5, 5.5, I'll take it another. But you cannot really be telling about this to take below minimum wage or there is European national to be taken below the minimum wage of Malta, which is 7. And a lot of them, you shouldn't even be telling them to take that as that minimum wage. So I think that's the aspect. But let's drop that by the side. I've really said a lot concerning why visa are gradually becoming difficult. And I think I focused too on to increase your visa chances while you have to do um, um, what you have to do, right? Paying a food tuition fee and all this stuff. It's one of my videos. I talked about that. Now, don't mind the way I've been telling you stories, not going straight to the exact reason why I'm doing this video today. But it will not be much of a long story. So let's look at it this way. Let's just go talk about estimated cost, what you probably should prepare your mind towards if you want to come now through study. I'm looking at the undergraduate aspect now. Don't mind me, I might be looking down at what I have in my system. They're talking about it. Now, looking at the rate now, from I want to just focus on, let's say, for instance, we want to look at least the list, the affordable tuition fee currently, for what I know, the affordable tuition fee currently. Like MCAST, while I was trying to check their tuition fee, I saw 5,400, 6,000, and then um, 6,500, depending. Mostly 8,500 to 9,000 or 10,000 for a 2 years program. If you are going for like maybe advanced diploma, that is a 2 years course, and then maybe it's a 1 year course that are um, tuition of 5,400 and 6,500 as well, depending on the program that you are going for. Now, let's say for instance, the 4,500, what will be the estimate? Now, if I want to use the common exchange rate app online that mostly gives definitions of the official rates now, according to Nigeria, let's say official rate according to Nigeria. If you want to go by MCAST, let me say from the what I believe is the least, 5,400 euro. It's official rates based on using Nigeria as a yardstick. Please, you can do the conversion in your own currency, depending on your country. In case, pardon me, if I don't want to start mentioning different countries or currency. According to Nigeria now, like say 5,400 officially is about 9.4305 something. So we just say uh, 9.4 million. Okay, let's just say 9.5 million estimate. That is now for a program of um, 5,400 euro. Now, if for instance you want to say the program fee is 4,500, because there is a particular school, people were just saying the minimum tuition fee to undergraduates is 4,500, and those schools I wouldn't really know if they stand the chance of giving you that visa approval rate you would actually need if they can increase your visa approval chance. I think one of them, I wouldn't have to start mentioning school. So the equivalent of 4,500 is about 7.8 million or 7.9 million estimate. So we're talking of around 8 million naira now in case of this thing. That's for 4,500, almost 8 million naira. How much do you call that of 5,400? Okay, that is almost 9.5 million. So now, if you want to go by the one, and I'm very certain of, which is the common range you will find easily, which is the 6,500, it is almost 11.35 something. So let's say estimate 11.4 million, right? For 6,500 euro. Okay, going by say other schools that will probably do 6K, 6K is almost 10.5 million naira. Okay, now these are for undergraduate program. Okay, if you now want to do it, though official rate for the proof of fund you were supposed to show a proof of fund, even if you pay those school fees before, when people were paying 50%, when they were paying 50% tuition fee, they will tell you to present a closing balance in a statement of account equating or an equivalent of 11,000 euro, right? Okay. Now, even when you're paying full tuition fee, I know that I would still not advise against that. I wouldn't say go less. I wouldn't say try to, because you pay full tuition fee, so you should be showing the statement of account of probably 5, 6,000. No. For the fact now that it's becoming tougher and they will be looking for any slight opportunity to just deny you, please kindly still stick to that of 11,000 euro tuition fee. So if you stick to that, 11,000 euro proof of fund, please kindly still stick to that. All right. So if you go by that, you can decide to use the 11,000 euro proof of fund. Equivalent of that is almost what I have here is okay, 19 point something million. So you can use this official exchange rate through the app, whatever you see as the rate officially from the app. Use that, as you might just put a little add up for in case of miscellaneous and contingent expenses. So what is supposed to have here is 19.2. Now I'm using this on current exchange rate, Nigerian naira to euro. So we have 19.2, basically 19.210, so which is estimated of 19, let's say 19.3 million naira, right? But give or take, if you try do a proof of fund of around that 20 million, which is, I'm talking of, I don't know, I'm not going to be talking about how to get it or no. All I'm saying is that your proof of fund now should be in the close range of about 20 million or a little bit above, depending on what you have or your sponsor can support you with. All right, that's how far I can go on that. So that's by the side. But if you now look at the estimate figures I mentioned about tuition fees, all those stuff, you see what you will get. So let's now say if you want to go by the calculation, that figures I mentioned to you were the app I used, the online Rwanda app I used. Okay, those are the figures I mentioned. But if you now want to actually convert the euro to the naira to euro, now please pardon me, I'm using Nigeria as a case study. You might also do it using the exchange rate or how you can get the euro in your country if you're not from Nigeria. Okay. Now, if I'm using Nigeria as a case study, the exchange rate app we used, official rate, we might not really get euro in that figure. For people to help you pay school fees, you'll be using some app that you can easily convert naira to euro, or the support or help from anybody abroad. So if I'm to follow those one now, 4,500 is still close. About what I'm seeing here is about 7.66,500 is about 11 million. And the other app that I saw for that's about 10.5 million, right? But here it's about 11.1 million. So that means use the apps where you can buy them off not an official rate, because that's actually where you can find it really affordable. So this one is 5.4, is almost 9.2 million here from that euro, 9.2 million. The other one is 11.2 million for 6,500 euro. 5,500 euro is 9.2 million, and 6,000 euro is 10.1 million. And from these are probably the best way to follow. How much did I see that of 4,500, which is about 7.7 million. Okay. Okay, based on this thing now, let's just look at it holistically. Let's try to sum it up together. Okay. If we want to look at this thing, add it up together, put aside about 500 euro for basically the processing on your own, maybe while paying application fees. If the school didn't add it up, some schools will add it up too. The visa fees fee, whatever is going to cost aside, like the processing fee. Let's just say you budget 500 by the side. It's about 900k Nigerian equivalent, 900,000 Nigerian equivalent. Now, going by that, with all these my stories of 6,500, 5,500, If I want to use calculator now, this is what I would give you, that this is what you should expect to pay in terms of this thing. Now, before that, let me even use the opportunity to mention that of if in case you're going for um, a master's program or postgraduate program, the last two admission I got for someone for a postgraduate program was 8,200 euro, all right? And the equivalent of that in official rate using the Rwanda currency exchange rate app is 14.320, let's just say 14.4 million now as it stands. Okay? Then 9,000, what would 9,000 euro be? 9,000 euro will be close to 15.8 million, all right? Something of that nature. Be like 15.8 million if we go by the conversion. And the thing you should know here is this: while basically this is what you should be targeting, looking at 9,500, which is almost 17 million. Now, with all this figure, let me say 9,000 euro, which is almost 15.7. From this app and the conversion, they just some little difference, maybe 30 naira or so, not too big. Okay. If you want to go by that, let's put it kind of, let's say we are doing mathematics now, meridian. Let's say go by the calculator. For a program that you will see that are kind of common, you should focus on something from that 5,400 MCAS and 6,000 and 6,005. Those are the programs that you tuition where you will get admission for easily. So I'm going to say the 5,400 is again about 9.2 million naira. Okay, 9.2 million. That's what you would expect to get that 5,000 destined for plus say the 900k or thereabout for the one I said put aside in case some general miscellaneous. What you have is 10.1, then give or take at least 2,000 should be 2,000 euros should be by the side. Okay, like 3.3 million or 3.4 million naira. Why I mentioned the 3,000 or 3.4, which is your ticket and at least accommodation for 3 months, we have 13.5 million naira in case you want to run something like for an undergraduate. Not now how you go about your proof of fund and all that entirely is up to you. Okay, but what this simply means is if you work based on there and now, you will have something of this nature. All right, that of 6,000. So which is 10.2 million its own. At least budget 3 months accommodation, ticket and ticket at least 3 months accommodation plus the deposit you pay the agent. And what figures am I looking at? I'm looking at 250 euro, 250 euro bed space where maybe two of you are in a room. Bed space, not even a private room, 250 euro. So 3 months is 750 euro. But for the first month you are paying, you will pay the equal amount as deposit, which is 250. That's 1,000 euro. Then at least another 1,000 euro serve for your ticketing to buy your flight tickets. It's enough to take care of that and whatever. That's why I said 2,000 euro for probably 3 months accommodation and flight and all those stuff for 3.4. Then you will have 14.5. So in case you're going for a program that is about 6,000 euro a year plus your ticket and accommodation for 3 months and whatever other miscellaneous, you're expecting almost 14.5 meter coming from Nigeria. The other one was how much? 13 point stuff, 13.3, right? That was 13 meter plus. Now, in case you now want to say the one for 6,500, which is the common one, I think that one is 11.1 million on its own. Then plus the 900k for the miscellaneous that we are talking about. or clear. That's 12 million, have 15.4. So 3 months accommodation, ticket, and paying the school fees, the program for the whole year. This is what you have. Now, this is for looking at undergraduate. So, what this simply means is that cost estimate currently now, you should be looking at 13 meter plus 14 or 15 million to run undergraduate. Meanwhile, that for um, postgraduate, which is 14.4 plus 900, you have close to 15 point something plus 3 point something, that's 80 million. So give or take, to be on the safer side, you are expecting an equivalent of 18 meter to 18 points, 18 to 19 meter as the cost estimate to do that of postgraduate or masters. So I'm only trying to make you see what is ahead now currently, what you should be expecting to work towards. So now don't forget that I am not, or I did not mention or kind of place emphasis on your POF, which is your proof of fund. I only tell you at least the best figures to show in your closing balance. Now, how you get that figure or how you get that money or whatever who is sponsoring you, that one now is entirely up to you. But now, talking of paying your school fees for 1 year for undergraduate or paying the whole program fee for postgraduate, PGD, or masters, these are the estimates. Now, I just try to show you by these rough calculations. And mind you, the word is estimated cost. Estimates, it means it could be a little lesser, it could be a little above. I am not saying fact or the actual amount, but this is how you work towards preparing yourself. But if you have figures like this, it's already prepared you for what is coming ahead or what you're going to be facing. This is almost going to be enough because if you consider it number one, I really do not think some people too kind of still do not maybe work towards having that 3 months accommodation and just to survive, all right? But it's my own best opinion to tell you that it's ideal to at least save 3 months accommodation and feeding because it will also match or it will align with the time you're supposed to prepare work for your resident card and the same time while you are hunting, looking for jobs. So all those times you will not be tense or under pressure. To give or take, in summary, it simply means 13 point something, 14.5 to 15 points. These are what you expect to spend as your estimate figure to want to come to Malta for an undergraduate program or a 1 year diploma. While you're looking at from 17, 18 to 19 million if you are coming for a postgraduate or master's. And please take note, this figure is so because I mentioned 3 months accommodations, inclusive and the deposit and flight tickets. So it means if you just want to take away those flight ticket and accommodation away, basically you should be looking at from 10 from 11 million to 13 million for undergraduate and from 14, 13, 14 to 15 for postgraduate or masters. So I think I've really said enough here because from if I look at it, the video is definitely long enough and it will require a lot of patience for someone to watch it to the end. But it will be of a great benefit if you can at least be patient and watch it to the end. And if you get to this point where I'm saying this, thank you for being this patient to watch it to this point. I really appreciate. I'm going to stop and please, if you feel it's something you can do for me, probably recommend, share so people start subscribing. I will really do appreciate. Thank you for now until we meet in my next video. I'll say bye.